All right, my friends, welcome to the Crooked Spine Show interview with Blake Miller. Today we're talking about can you or should you use ozone as a supplement to improve your quality of life? Successful ozone therapy has first reported about 150 years ago in 1870 in Germany. Since then, with better technology and research methods, ozone therapy has successfully helped many people conditions around the world. Blake Miller is my ozone expert today. He will help us break down how ozone works in your body, then how to supplement your body with ozone so you can recover and prevent health conditions naturally. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing well. What's going on about you?
Good. So what inspired you to study and use ozone supplements and equipment to help people improve their health for 150 years? Ish.
I was first exposed to ozone at the young age of 23.
Okay.
I was super young. It was 1996. And I was actually in the nightclub business at the time. Really got tired of the lifestyle. But I was at a party one night, and I overheard of this man who had this supposed ozone chamber who could, zap you in here, get rid of all these crazy diseases and all this stuff. But I investigated it. But he showed me an ozone sauna. And I did 5 days of the ozone sauna. And I felt so magical, so electrified. I literally saw my life flash in front of me. I wanted to show this to the world, and it was a shock that this wasn't everywhere and nobody knew about it. Keep in mind, this was in the mid 90s. And so I did 5 days in a row. I ended up fully committing, buying a machine from this gentleman, put it in my dad's house in Denton, Texas, and started offering ozone sauna sessions for people. And that's where it all started. I was in Denton, Texas. And this, here we are now, 28 years later.
And then in layman terms, explain, because I didn't even know when I looked at your information, how does ozone work at the cellular level to improve people's and bodies function, people's lives, and explain as you already do, one of layman's terms too, please.
Yeah. So the biggest thing what ozone does is it's our detoxifier. Okay. It does two main things. It detoxifies and regenerates. But the big elephant in the room right now is people have gotten so toxic. Heavy metals, parasites, yeast, fungus, forever chemicals. I mean, we can go all day long talking about all the waste that we're absorbing, especially being in America. And we're all going to the red light and the PMF and the cold plunges, but none of that does anything to detoxify us. And ozone will literally remove, if applied properly, will remove all the heavy metals, the chemicals, the pesticides, the drugs, the alcohol, all the even bacteria, fungus, and virus, all these things that are basically causing us to age prematurely. So it detoxifies us, but it's also a fabulous regenerator because what ozone is, it's electrified oxygen. So it's oxygen plus a voltage. The higher the voltage in the human body, the healthier we become. So that's why ozone is superior, because it's getting the level of oxygen and raising our cellular voltage.
And where does ozone come from? Is it man-made or is it natural?
It's naturally made, just when oxygen hits an energy source. So like on the Earth, as soon as the sun or the UV energy hits our oxygen, it forms the ozone layer. When the sun goes down, the ozone layer disappears. You can see the stars. But you've got to have the energy touching it to make the O3 molecule. Now, here on ground level, we have something called an ozone generator. See, in our company, we're in the manufacturing side. So all of our machines are all cold plasma. That's how Nikola Tesla made them. So in the sun is also plasma. Right, so basically these machines mimic the energy of the sun, creating plasma. We run the oxygen through that, and that electrifies the oxygen and breaks into ozone.
Perfect. It seems very simple. Why do people not know about it? Going off the questions and everything else too.
I mean, honestly, and without getting too controversial, the U.S. is very pharmaceutical driven, and they control the narrative here.
Of course,
so it's been somewhat pushed under the rug, but if you look at ozone on a global standpoint, it's done all over the world. Europe, mainly Germany, were the first to use it medically in the 1930s. Okay, since then Russia picked it up medically in the 1960s, and since then there's probably over 3,000 ozone clinics just in Russia. But it's all over South America, it's all over Asia, it's all over Cuba. It's done on a global basis. It's just in America they're very pill driven, so the doctors are, they have to push the medications.
Well, I mean, in the U.S., because we're both in the U.S., a lot of it is, anytime you turn on your TV and you watch a commercial, every third commercial is a pharmaceutical drug. You know, some older people dancing, doing something. I don't know what they're doing.
Right.
But it's almost like you go to that level. Okay, how do we've all lived that. And again, I'm 52 years old. How do we separate ourselves so we have another 52 years of a good quality of life? And I think your ozone therapy, as we'll go through this for 1, 2, will help explain what conditions it does help and can help you. And actually being natural, we know it's going to be a lot safer too.
Absolutely.
Good. And going into it, what conditions, health conditions, have been proven through ozone to help people?
Man, I don't want to say all of them, but I will say that a lot of the issues we're having are being stemmed from toxicity. Whether it be a fungus or a virus or yeast or too much heavy metals. So once we remove all this toxicity from the body, any kind of condition will begin to improve without getting too cleany with it. You just have to apply the ozone properly. And that's where it gets a little trickier because, the most popular ways out there of ozone are autohemotherapy, where they pull a little bit of blood out, the ozone in the blood, and drip back into you. Well, the IV methods aren't always the best, but it's usually only the ones people have access to. When you start getting into the home applications of ozone, which is like ozone water, ozone rectally and vaginally, or ozone in the sauna, in my opinion, those can be done on a much more frequently basis. And they can be done at home. And those, in my opinion, have a little bit more of an effect on conditions versus getting your IV once a week at the local IV clinic.
It's almost like better compliance by having something available at your home as you supplement in your medicine cabinet or just your normal cabinet than having, like you said, pay $100, go here and do that instead. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
If you have the means, definitely invest getting one of our home systems, because that way the whole family can use it, but you can use it on a regular basis. The ozone water is phenomenal. One of the things we do in our practice is we have our own. This is my dark field scope here. So I have a dark field microscope right here. So we're always looking at live blood, and the ozone water has been the top tier we have found for analyzing live blood. And what it does, if we can see this,
good.
You see the top pick is very sludgy blood that's gotten very acidic. And this is after we re-electrify it. You can see the cells are perfectly separated. There's no clumping, no clotting. And this is what you get basically when you learn to reestablish the cellular voltage, that's how you can achieve this. But it's not water only. It's water with the minerals, with the oxygen. And ozone water from the machine, a little bit of salt, has probably been the premier way we have found to correct blood. The next step would probably be this one. You just drop this in the water, but not as potent as water from the machine. The generators, but that water has only a temporary shelf life, about 45 minutes. So you have to drink it quickly. So there's a couple of downsides with it, but.
And bring that picture up one more time. Being a biology major for 1, 2, the one from your card is. What are we seeing in the top one? Is that more like clotting?
So this is what I see all the time. We've been doing blood work now for probably 15 years with the dark telescope. The top pick is pretty much everybody's blood across the board we look at. And their blood is doing this because they're drinking coffee in the morning, which we're all guilty of. Coffee in the morning, bottled water during the day with zero minerals in it. And maybe some alcohol at night, probably a glass of wine at dinner, or maybe not. But most people have all three.
Hit the crack.
All three of those leach the voltage from the red blood cell. Okay. Caffeine pulls electrolytes, and it's acidic. It also pulls water, and it pulls voltage. Okay. This has no cellular voltage. This is acidic. This is maxed out in cellular voltage. This is alkaline. So alkalinity and acidity are actually measuring electricity. Acidity is low electricity, alkalinity is high electricity. So that's how you fix it. But when you fix this, that's how you address the high blood pressure, the neuropathies, the cold hands, cold feet, the headaches, the brain fog, the fatigue, especially, is coming from that. But it's a shame that not many doctors do the dark field work. So they never really see the sludgy blood, but everybody has it.
And when someone gets that normally, say that's the average, what do doctors usually prescribe or tell people to do lifestyle-wise to improve it?
Well, blood thinners is their main go-to, but it actually makes it worse because this is a matter of dehydration. The loss of electrolytes and oxygen is why the blood's like that. So another drug to try to separate the blood isn't the answer. But doctors can't prescribe you electrolytes and oxygen.
No.
So, but you can fix this with just a few dollars of a good salt and oxygen and good water to reestablish the cellular voltage. And that one step alone, people can have major benefits. Not to mention the inflammation, just to leave. That's the first step in getting the body to rid itself of all inflammation, is getting the blood in that state, because the blood was carrying out the inflammation.
It's almost the toxins and inflammation go together, correct? Like a
Right.
1-to-1 ratio almost. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how many people do we know that have inflammatory conditions?
Yeah, like the whole world, everybody. Yeah, people are all living the same. A lot of them have the same issues.
Well, then people are prescribed, again, more specific medication for inflammatory conditions. It's almost like, which rabbit hole do you want to go down to? More of taking more medication, or actually fixing your body so you can detoxify, then reset everything, then do the right things to keep your body healthy.
Exactly. Plus, the body will help. It helps the whole body detoxify on its own, anyways. When you've got the hydration dialed in, the blood's opened up. Now we can begin to carry out the waste. It's because the blood's so clotted. That's why America's overweight. That's why they can't lose the fat. The blood's too clotted to carry out the inflammation.
So people do other things to possibly lose the weight without fixing the main problem, which is toxins and inflammation.
Right.
Same page.
So it's all a downward spiral. Once they get more tired, so they want more caffeine, and the blood gets worse and worse. And you know what I mean? The next thing you know,
start doing coke and everything just to stay awake.
Right. Any kind of stimulation they can find, because the body can't make any ATP. Without any oxygen, the mitochondria can only make 2 molecules of ATP. If it has sufficient enough oxygen, it can make 38 molecules of ATP. So it's all about the oxygen.
And tell people, what is ATP? What is ATP?
Well, that's the fuel source the cells will basically we make for our natural energy in the mitochondria, which is like the cylinder of an engine. So when glucose and oxygen come together and they fire, it's like the same thing in a motor. Those are spark, and in your body, and your mitochondria can create ATP, and ATP is our natural energy source. Without that, we're going to the caffeine. It's going to get energy from one or the other.
And your same generation as me. Remember when there was like leaded gas?
Yeah.
For your car? It's like we're going from leaded gas in our normal body to more high octane gas, so we can actually function at a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Easy stuff. How would ozone supplementation help a healthy person?
Well, even if you're healthy, we're still harboring a lot of toxicity, and we're still all living with a low level of oxygen. So ozone will take your level of health to even a superior level of health, or even go to the next level where you've got even more energy, more mental clarity, never sick, you're aging slower and slower. That's what ozone will do for you. It will remove all the waste completely, and that is the best anti-aging regime that there is removing all the heavy metals, all the viruses, all the parasites, all the things that are robbing us of our cellular voltage and life force energy.
It's amazing when you find something like that. It is a natural thing to get that people just didn't realize it was needed to keep the body healthy.
Right. So that's my specialty, really, using ozone in a longevity form, not just treating, which is what doctors use with it. They just treat when a condition arises, but we actually use ozone on a regular basis. Like, here's my system right here. There's my hard shell sauna.
Perfect.
There's my generators. Okay.
Perfect. Yep.
That's the black box on top. So I'll do ozone daily. I'll do ozone rectally is one of my favorite ways to do it. It sounds kind of funny, but ozone rectally, just 4 minutes at 1/8. I get 500 cc's of ozone. It's done in 5 minutes, and I've got energy for the whole day. Major mental clarity. Ozone water, I'll make those throughout the day as well. And then, of course, my next favorite would be the sauna, the hard shell. We've got hard shells and soft shells for people. But you do that on a somewhat regular basis, and you've got energy all day long. I mean, I don't even have to touch coffee. We're the same age, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, I was born in 75.
That was 74 January, so we're within 12 months.
January. Okay, I'm January too. What's your birthday?
25.
Holy shit, mine's 22nd.
Close.
Aquarius in the house. Love it.
Small world, my friend. Small. It's the thing. It's almost like when you look at ozone, almost like how do I get my body and get peak performance, detox, longevity for one too. It's something you could do daily, and see the benefits long term. Why not?
Absolutely. I mean, we sell our home systems. I mean, every home in America should have one of our home systems in it. That way, the whole family can use the system. Mom, dad, grandma, the kids. You know, my mother was just diagnosed with leukemia. She's 84, and we caught it in the early stages, but it's virtually gone right now from her home system.
Wow.
She's done about 25 sessions with it.
Even with something like leukemia, too, that's crazy.
Well, it has a tough time living a high level of oxygen, as well as all these viruses and infections. You know, so there's nothing really quacky about it. It's just we don't really use the cure word, but it's just a means of detoxification, really.
It's almost getting the body to function at 100%. You're not trying to lag it behind. You know what I mean? It's almost like it can be at the high performance that it should be. We live at a lower level all the time, becomes our normal.
Yeah, and it's all about voltage. It's all about cellular voltage. The higher the voltage it is in the human body, the healthier we are. And the lower it gets, the closer we are to disease. I don't know if you can see this or not on the camera, but this is from this book, Healing is Voltage.
Nice. Is that your book or is it?
I don't know. This is Robert Tennant, Dr. Robert Tennant.
Okay.
Yeah, his book. But this chart, if you can see the top.
Yeah.
Okay, it has the millivolts and it has the pH. And you see, look on the bottom when we have no voltage, we're close to cancer. But when the high voltage is, we're closer to where we are when we're a kid. So it's all about the cellular voltage.
Perfect.
So how we get there is where the oxygen and the salt comes in. Because the absence of oxygen will be also the absence of voltage. Without any oxygen, you can't hold any voltage. No wonder everybody's having fatigue issues. They got no oxygen.
Yeah. Wow. And how is ozone naturally versus medical grade ozone? What is the difference?
Nothing really.
Okay.
I mean, when you have medical grade ozone, you got to have it. If you see that oxygen cylinder down there, you got to have a pure oxygen source being fed into the ozone generator to make what they call medical grade ozone.
Okay.
Ozone just from an air-fed machine, like just pulling in the air, the ambient air, that would not be considered medical grade. We would not use it on the human body. That would just be used for the air.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize. I was looking at it. I'm like, what does that mean? Actually, when I went through your website and everything, I remember you have, and I saw that video too. I put in the link of explaining exactly how the blood looks and what differences are. So if you're on my show now or on the repost as a podcast, make sure you go to that video too. It explains very, very well in visual how things work. So thanks for posting that video.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Nice. And then and how long has ozone been used for therapy to help humans, including animals too?
Man, 1800s is where it first started. If we get into the history of it, medically, like the 30s is when the Germans started using it. 1930. So we're going on close to 100 years now medically. Yeah. And even if you go on to PubMed, will tell you that it's under 5 million ozone treatments given. The side effect percentage was like 0.00137. One of the lowest ones of any medical treatment ever done. So it's super, super safe. People want to do the research on it.
Is there anything that people should be? I guess that just got to my question too. Is there other adverse reactions or side effects from ozone if you get too much ozone?
You just don't want to inhale the gas. That's where it's kind of got nicknamed as being toxic.
Yep.
It's not toxic. It's just too strong for the lungs to breathe in because it'll happen. You'll oxidize toxicity and that clogged our bronchioles. Low amounts are actually very beneficial to breathe, very low amounts. High amounts are a no-go, because like air purifiers will create ozone, a little bit of ozone. So there's some in the air, but ozone does dissipate. It goes away after about a half an hour.
Nice.
But other than that, when you get into the heavy usage of ozone, it is a detoxification. So you could feel some mild flu-like symptoms, or you might have an infection arise. But what really happens is the body already had the infection, It was buried with mucus. That's what we get every year, twice a year, every year. But the ozone will come back, peel out the mucus, and kill the infection. So sometimes we can't experience a symptom of that infection as it leaves us. But that's the only thing that kind of throws people off. But as long as you know that going in, you know what to expect. You know, you're good. Other than that, you feel incredible. I mean, it really puts you on a high.
It's almost like if you're detoxing your body, no matter what you're doing, what type of therapy you're using, you're gonna feel like crap sometimes for a couple of days. You have a lot of toxin in your body. Sorry,
most people do. Pretty much everybody does. So
it's almost like that's part of the treatment is knowing, okay, I'm pretty screwed up if I'm getting these type of symptoms. Let me get it all out of my body. How long does it take for someone to feel the benefits of ozone therapy?
Oh, one day.
Wow.
The same day. They'll feel it usually that same day. Or while the treatment's actually happening, they'll feel better.
Man.
I remember one time I was, this is what really got me on the rectal insufflation all the time. And I'm not a big drinker, but one night I had some drinks and I was hungover the next day.
Yeah.
And
it's your buddy's fault. It wasn't your fault. It was your buddy.
Right. And
hate those guys.
Something told me, man, just do the ozone rectally. I was too dehydrated to do the sauna, just too dried up.
Oh, got it.
But within minutes, the hangover was gone, and I was in the best mood ever. I'll call up my friends, and my hands were
let's go again, one more time.
It just rose my vibration really, really high. It just totally changed my mood. But ozone or oxygen, especially ozone, will oxidize alcohol. So it just drop kicked the hangover, and that put me right back into a happy place. And that's ever since then. When I felt that change, I pretty much do it every day.
It's efficient for you. You know, like if I want that
5 minutes, it's done.
I'm done.
I mean, it's super convenient. You can't beat that.
Nice. And how was ozone? You said oxidative stress oxidation. How is that compared to antioxidants that people normally take on a daily basis?
How does ozone compare to it?
Yeah.
Well, antioxidants is kind of clean up the free radicals. You know, people talk about that was the biggest misconception. They thought ozone would oxidize us. Exactly. It actually doesn't, because the human cells have what they call they have a protective cell enzyme that protects us from oxygen. So we have to have these systems because we're oxygen breathing animals. But the viruses, the yeast, the fungus, the mold does not have these systems. So the oxygen, the ozone, is basically blasts a hole through the membrane of the virus or whatever it is. But if you're concerned with oxidative stress, usually oxidative stress is coming from a lack of oxygen. But we found, man, if you want to do this, a little bit of hydrogen is really the world's best antioxidant, because the ozone is the world's best oxidant. So, but we need oxidation to remove the toxicity, because toxins must be oxidized before they're allowed to leave the body. Okay, that's why the hydrogen and the red lights and the PMF and the cold plunges do nothing to remove the waste that we've been accumulating. But you can do the ozone first, and all those other modalities work much, much better. Stack them together.
You're almost like you're cleaning the body out so it can function 100%. Then you add more. Now you get more good things in your body to help it function at even a higher level.
Right, because anytime we regenerate, we always want to detoxify first, then regenerate. We're going right to regeneration, but nobody's removing the heavy metals, all the crap we've been getting hit with, the chemtrails. I mean, the list is ridiculous. But the ozone, especially the sauna, was one of the premier ways probably one of the only ways to do it. You literally see black sweat start oozing out of your pores when you do the session, and you'll see black on your towel. Like when you've gotten out, you'll see like little dots all over it. Wow. This is crucial because it's just purging out all that waste. Nice.
Yeah. And why did you start the company Ozone Purity? What was your purpose of doing the company?
Well, we haven't always been in the manufacturing side. We were just having clinics in the Dallas area. But I wanted to provide. How it worked was I worked with Plasma Fire International. Plasma Fire was a company from the 90s, and they found one of Tesla's old cold plasma machines and reverse engineered it. And so I worked with this doctor, Saul Pressman. I worked with him for about 15 years. He was actually my roommate at one point. And he's who taught me how to make the cold plasma technique. So I took what Plasma Fire did and basically updated everything. So it's about 40% more output, smaller casing. Still has the cold plasma technology with a lot more commercial grade parts. So that's when we got into the manufacturing side of it. And our machines, they last forever. I mean, we all have lifetime warranty. They're all American made. And then one of the things we create too in my practice is ozonated olive oil. So I'll have 4 of my machines literally bubble ozone for 45 days straight into a little aquarium of about 2 gallons of olive oil. But they'll literally be on every day for 45 days in a row. No breaks. There's no fans on them. So they last forever.
It doesn't overheat per se.
No heat's created with cold plasma. That's how Tesla made it. And we use the same design Tesla did. And there's no fans inside the machines either.
Nice. And someone wants to get started with your product. Explain your products. What kind of products do you have that carry ozone or emit ozone?
Our flagship is this one. This is called Ozone Drops. And you just simply drop this in the water and then drink the water. And this is available for wholesale and private label if somebody wanted to put their name on this and resell it. But this is our go-to to fix this blood. That's because we do this demonstration before and after with the scope here. Perfect. So this is what we do to fix the blood. We have another product called Purity. It's a green label. And that's our go-to for parasites, fungus, yeast, mold, bad bacteria. There's a famous doctor, Dr. Brian Ardis. You've heard of Dr. Brian Ardis? You heard him before?
No.
Dr. Ardis? He's a popular guy. He talks about using the nicotine patches for parasites.
Okay.
Dr. Ardis, he resells this or the green label. I don't have one here. Under the name Biodefense. But we've got a really good potassium iodide for the thyroid. We got a really good sulfur product for like calcification, cardiovascular plaque, anything arthritic. But the biggest things are our home systems. The alpha generator with the sauna and the cylinder. We have that whole home system that sells for $4K, but that's a family investment. That's our biggest seller. Is that. Wow. So if you want to add ozone to your practice, that's what could get you going on as well.
Yeah. It's almost like you're giving someone a way to help themselves, their clients, their patients, their family. It's like there's nothing else you can really do to help people. It's got people to buy the product and try the product.
Right. Absolutely.
Good. Anything I missed you wanted to bring up on the show today?
No, I think we got into some good stuff today. I think we're good.
Good. And you explained a lot of it. Like I did a little bit of research for a couple hours or so looking at ozone because I've not looked at it as a therapy before. It's like almost a no-brainer. It's almost too easy for some people. Why do people not want to buy your products or your supplements?
Probably because they don't understand it. That would probably be the first biggest one. Or lack of marketing on our side. We haven't done good enough marketing to educate the public. But I would say the first thing is just a lack of understanding. If they knew what the products did, or they knew the importance of ozone, my phone would probably be ringing all day long. But unfortunately, it's not right now. His pills here or there, but they haven't really quite figured it out yet.
Well, and then you said you have doctors, people that actually are affiliates of your company. What do they say successfully? Why they continue to be with you? What is their success that they see in their offices or their clinics?
We've had. I can show you some pics of what we've done with it, what we've seen with it. So tumors are a big one. We had a guy had a neck tumor from tobacco use. Hold on, let me get to these pics here.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, so he had a neck tumor there. You see right there on this pic. Wow. So he would do ozone with a funnel cup on the outside of the sauna, just running ozone into the neck. He would coat this with ozone olive oil, and he drank the ozone water. It tells you regime right there. But he got rid of the neck tumor.
Wow. That's crazy.
This lady had a brain tumor. Get rid of her brain tumor. This is Chad Jensen. It was his mother. I actually went to high school with Chad, and she had an inoperable brain tumor. And they gave her about 7 weeks to live. And she did ozone sauna and ozone through the ears. Okay. And 7 weeks of that, and the tumor was gone. She's still alive today, about 25 years later.
Wow. You're saving lives.
Yeah, man, this is what we do. And we're excellent for any kind of infection, including gangrene, This guy was faced with an amputation, and he had diabetic ulcer from neuropathy. And all he do is put his foot into a bag and blow ozone into the bag, called limb bagging. They're able to get rid of the infection and regenerate about 95% of the foot, but save him from amputation.
Wow.
No antibiotics were required.
Fantastic. How does it help pets?
Oh, it's great for pets. I'm a dog guy. I got 2 dogs here, so I give it to my dogs all the time.
Nice.
They can just drink the water. You can run it to the ears. You can give it to them rectally if you want to go a step further. Keep them alive for a very long time. But it does the same thing to them. It means some stimulation, kills all the parasites. If you got issues with worms, ozone kills parasites on contact.
Wow.
So if you get concern of worms in the head, do ozone in the ears. Concerns of ozone or parasites in the intestinal tract, do ozone rectally. Super 100% safe, and it's not toxic at all.
Wow. And we talked about a lot of stuff today, and I think you did a good job explaining how it works in some visuals too. I put the link again of these video you put on there about doing someone's blood work, a quick blood work of where they were on average, and you gave them, I think, was it 20 drops, and then redid the blood work again, and you showed that quick improvement within, I think, 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, so we figured out how to basically reestablish the cellular voltage to the red blood cell. So where that's how you get them to unclump. You've got to get the voltage back to the red blood cell, but you can't get the voltage back unless you get the hydration, the electrolytes, and the oxygen back in place, because that's what creates the voltage. You can't do the multi-wave Tesla oscillator. You can't do the PMF mat. It separates it a little bit, only for it to clump back up, because you're living in dehydration, you're living in lack of oxygen and minerals. So you got to get those established first. Then we do the energy medicine device.
Perfect. Good. And going into and closing out the show a little bit, what is a good takeaway for people to looking to add ozone to their lifestyle, either naturally or supplementation? What's a good takeaway for them to get started?
I would start with the drops.
Good. Okay.
Start here. And that would be the first step with anybody. Put this in your water, 30 drops, 30 ounces, half a teaspoon of good salt, and do that formula twice a day. That would be a good start. Or we can do my trifecta cleanse, which is where they're going to drink bentonite clay. They're going to take another part called mag ozone, which is ozone and magnesium down together in a capsule. Okay. And then the drops again. But I would say the long game for everybody is look at one of the home systems. That way the whole family can use it, or they can also use it as a home-based business as well.
Nice. And then when you mentioned adding the drops, good water, or is it ionized water, or is it?
As long as it's clean. Water? I mean, it can even be bottled. We don't recommend it, but if it's all you got, it's all you got. You know what I mean? Just don't put too many drops in it. Match the drops per ounce. In other words, if you have a 16-ounce bottle, only add 16 drops to it. 30-ounce bottle, only add 30 drops to it. So just 1 drop per ounce only. Don't concentrate it, or you will get sick. Yeah. Okay. You'll be going to the bathroom, maybe possibly throw up.
Okay.
Just mix it properly. Yeah.
And what kind of salt do you recommend too? What kind of salt?
Maldon.
One more time.
Maldon sea salt. Maldon. People always ask me about the Peak Himalayan or the Celtic or even Baja Gold. Those are great, but all 3 of those have got heavy metals in them. Maldon is an Icelandic flake salt. It's from Iceland. Okay. So it's one of the few salts I've had that have been contaminant-free of any microplastics or heavy metals. And half a teaspoon every 30 ounces.
Okay.
And I would do that mandatory with all your water, whether you have drops or not. Always add salt to it. That'll prevent the bottled water from pulling your electrolytes from your blood.
And like I said, why would you, if Maldon salt works, use that. Don't try to start your own system. Just do what you've done this for decades, so you understand how this works.
Yeah, Maldon's a good one.
Perfect, good. And I have all your social media on the links run to your Facebook, Instagram, your website, your YouTube, which is phenomenal. I like all the videos on there too. Anything you want to add to the show before we get it out of here?
Oh, no, I think we're good. I think we covered it all. I'm trying to think about it. Yeah.
You said that you may be an ozone believer and interested into it too. I want to check it out even more for one. So thank you for being on the show, Mr. Blake, you have a good day.
Tony, yeah, you too. Thank you.
Give me one second, turn up me, end the live, and we'll talk in the back room. Thanks, guys, for watching. Well, actually, one quick thumbnail, almost forgot. Quick smile. And we are good to go. All right.